Some people hold the view that the Bible is not particularly relevant to us today. I can understand that for people that are not children of God because they really do not have maybe a good reason to engage with studying the scriptures. But this should not be the case for those of us that are children of God, that we want to understand and know our God better. So you're welcome back to Explore the Word podcast, where we do just that. And if you're tuning in for the first time, you're welcome too. The aim of this podcast is to encourage you to develop your relationship with God through the study of His Word. And I do hope that you have been reading or studying your Bible more than ever before. If not, it's not too late to start, and I encourage you to get started today. The more I look at the scriptures, the more I see how the people that we have written about in scriptures are just like you and I. They live in houses and society, and they have similar expectation to what we have today. Yes, they didn't have the kind of technological advancement that we're enjoying today, but relatively they do have development, and people live their lives with basic needs and basic needs of life that we have today and we want to meet today as well. And a lot of societal values that we have today, we also see represented in the scriptures. The relationships that we have today, many places in scriptures we will see this kind of relationship as well. We have marriages described, and interactions between families and people outside of families and communities. And we have a lot of the societal values that we have today also represented in the scriptures. And as a result of this, I see I see the scriptures as very relevant to us today. And so what I would like to do in this series of podcasts is to look at different ways in which we see some of these are societal values, the relationships that we have today, and people's aspirations, pattern of behavior of people, and a range of other things I feel we can have, I can talk about on this podcast. So I'll be looking, my plan is to look at things like work life, marriages, families, fruitfulness, and people's aspirations in the scriptures that we see represented in our daily life. So, my objective for this particular podcast is to look at that, how people lived in those days in the scriptures, and we'll see that we also can see ourselves living in the same way that people lived in those times. And so I'm hoping that you will be joining me in the episodes I'll be bringing out same time, and just discussing some of these areas of life that I have seen in scriptures, and just to let us see how relatable our God is. Because I believe that one of the reasons that the Lord gave us the scriptures is so that we can see how He related with people in time past. And through this, we have understanding of who He is and what He expects of us. And so I hope this will come out as we discuss some of these aspects of life that are relevant to us in our everyday life that we see represented in the scriptures. So the plan is to have about, so far, I've got work done on about 5 episodes, which would include work, marriage, migration, and families. And as we're going along, I'll see whether there are other aspects that I can include in this series. But that should form the basis of our conversation or discussion with regards to how the Bible is relevant to us in this day and age. So I hope you will be joining me as we talk about this over the course of the next few weeks. So thank you for joining me, and Stay blessed. Bye.